Thank you, Bruce. I was going to bring lamb chop up, but who would know that we would have a beautiful, warm, sunny day? Another bit of Craig Miller's magic to actually produce a beautiful day for this event. On behalf of Project Inform and the 42 co-beneficiaries that we are so proud to be stewards of this event for, I welcome you this morning and thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you're doing for us and for the movement to end HIV and AIDS. I also want to thank Craig Miller for being an incredible partner in these last 2 years as Project Inform led this event. Without his steady hand at our sides, we would not have been successful on behalf of the mission that is so important to us. And I want to thank Dimitri Rizos, who is the event director in San Francisco, and Jeff Friedel and the entire staff who've done such a beautiful job, not only last year, but this year. It's also my honor to introduce a set of elected officials. San Francisco and the Bay Area have always been blessed by having a set of people in office who understand social justice and who deeply understand how important it is that we end HIV and AIDS. They have assured that we have a base of public policy and funding to end this epidemic in a way that no other elected officials throughout the country have done. Today we have some of those people with us, and I'd like to recognize them. The amazing Congresswoman Barbara Lee, an unbelievable champion for social justice for all. Assemblyman David Chu, recently elevated, is here from Sacramento to join us. Scott Wiener, a member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, who has worked steadfastly beside Project Inform to make some of our most important work happen. Also, Supervisor Norman Yee, I believe the first time here, and it's great to see you. Thank you very much. City Treasurer Jose Cisneros, who can always be counted to show up to signal the importance of this issue. And finally, Alex Randolph, who recently became a member of San Francisco's Community College Board of Trustees. Thank you all so much for everything that you do for us. You can all be incredibly proud of the work that is being done and work that you have made possible to end the HIV epidemic in San Francisco and the Bay Area. Because of you, we are making incredible strides. This week, you may have read that the San Francisco Department of Public Health released new data that shows that as a result of a set of strategic measures that have been put in place in the last few years, we have not only prolonged the life of HIV-positive people significantly, but we've reduced new infections from approximately 1,000 just 10 years ago to 302. Amazing progress that none of us would have expected to be possible just weeks ago. I am extremely proud to be a member of the steering committee of a community consortium called Getting to Zero in San Francisco, a set of community leaders who have come together to develop a strategy for how to go even farther, building on the services that are provided by the 42 co-beneficiaries of this event and an amazing sort of base of services. Our goal is to make sure that by the year 2020, we have 90% fewer deaths from HIV and 90% fewer infections. I know that we can do it, and we can do it with your assistance. We'll do this by making sure that people are linked to care and treatment as quickly as possible with the help of Quest, who's making sure that people are being tested, and with the amazing pharmaceuticals that we have as a result of the work of companies like Gilead, by making sure that they are retained in care and that if we've lost them, they're returned to care. And of course, we'll also end the epidemic with the amazing addition of pre-exposure prophylaxis, which has already been described, which is already having major impact on the number of new infections in San Francisco. We'll also end this epidemic if we finally end the stigma that's associated with HIV, even in 2014. stigma that isolates people with HIV and helps to fuel new infections. The movement to end HIV, of which you are such an important part, ranks as one of the greatest social movements for social justice in the history of our nation. These past weeks have seen breathtaking advances in social justice and the rights and dignity of all Americans. The Supreme Court upheld the fundamental right to health care for all people in this country. The Confederate flag was finally removed from the grounds of the state capitol in South Carolina. Transgender people were given the ability to serve openly and proudly in our military, and gay men were allowed to serve openly as leaders of the Boy Scouts movement. Who would have thought that these things would be possible only a few years ago? None of these steps end the injustice and suffering of people in this country, but they are very important steps. We have a lot of tools at our disposal now to prevent HIV infections moving forward, and as I said, they're being very successful. Perhaps none of them are as important as assuring that people at risk for HIV believe that they are important and valued members of our society. With dignity and pride come the aspiration to live long and fulfilled lives. When Gavin Newsom ignited the movement several years ago to recognize same-sex marriage in an electrifying moment that has served disproportionately to catapult that issue forward, Kate Kendall was by his side. Kate Kendall is the executive director of the National Center for Lesbian Rights. Perhaps more than any other person, she has been an architect of this great success that we achieved with the Supreme Court, a fight that is not over by any means, and she continues to fight it. But I invited her today to join you and to say hello to you, to thank her for the profound leadership that she has provided in bringing social justice to our country. It is this step and the connection between the self-esteem of gay men and lesbians and people and transgenders and bisexuals and women of color that will aid us in ending this epidemic. And so I want to thank you, Kate, for everything that you have done to bring this day about.